when one competitor is like, oh, this is my rival, and the other competitor is like, good job, little guy. I'm glad to see you grow, like they view each other so much differently than.
Sometimes I wonder if that's how Michael Ross sees me.
I don't know. You have to ask him, man. You'd have to ask him. Mike, we got questions.
I mean, he called you out, bro.
Oh, he knows where I am. He got my number. He got my number.
He called you out on your own damn show, bro.
Actually, I appreciate the boldness. Last time we had some good rolls, but he got my number. If he wanted to smoke for real, he did,
What do you think the difference is between being afraid or being a coward?
So everyone's afraid, but not everyone's a coward, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it comes down to how you respond to being afraid. If your response is, I'm going to run away, or your response is, I'm going to talk a big talk and hope they run away, and then you really have no sustenance behind your talk or no real way to defend yourself, or you don't plan on defending yourself, to me, that's a coward. That's a coward 100%.
Big facts.
Yeah, we run into a lot of those.
We do. I feel like sometimes you get those in jiu-jitsu. You get guys. And then there is a difference, especially with new white belts. You have the new white belts that are a little hesitant to engage or want to roll with you. And it's like, it's okay. I'm safe,
Yeah.
But as you get further along, we've been talking about this a lot, testing your belt, and you have those purple belts that they're avoiding rolls with you. Those brown belts who are avoiding rolls with you. And that's where I think we get into that cowardice realm.
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy because you run into so many different characters in jiu-jitsu, but there's one thing that you hit at every gym, and that's necessarily the not willing to drop the ego, which leads into that cowardice.
Yeah.
Like the tighter you hold on to your ego is going to come off as a cowardice thing, just because you're not really willing to branch out and learn anything new. You're not willing to train with someone that you feel can beat you, which in reality you should. Mm-hmm. Like you don't progress just rolling with just dominating white belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nothing against white belts, but they're still learning. They're here to learn, but as you already know that, you should test that.
Yeah.
And the not willingness to not be willing to test it is what makes the coward to me.
Got me.
Yeah, that and bullies.
Yeah. Bullies. I hate bullies.
Yeah.
I had an incident recently where a bully put my name in their mouth. Unfortunately, we'll leave it there.
Oh, man, I wish you had video. I wanted to see it.
Nah. It's probably better that it's left that way.
I'm jealous. I wish I seen it.
Look, I'm not that person. But if you're going to come to someone's house, piss on the floor, expect to have your face rubbed in it. That's how I look at it.
No, I definitely agree, but in I don't know if the people have ever watched Star Wars, but I told the line, like, I'll be a good guy if you're a good guy, but if you cross that threshold or like you kind of force my hand or put a target on your own back, I have no problem jumping to the other side,
Yeah.
No problem at all.
So you all about the dark side of the Force. Now, you know what? Let me before we get into that, let me ask you this. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, man. So this is a hard question, but...
It really is, because Disney kind of threw a wrench in it.
So I'm going to say this. The newest 3, all garbage to me.
Okay.
My favorite, I'd probably say Episode 3. But the most iconic, I am willing to admit that it is the second of the original trilogy. The which one is it?
Not A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. The Luke, I'm your father. That's the most iconic.
Copy.
Hands down. And then, Disney bought it. They got us excited with Rogue One and then pissed in our house.
You really think they really pissed on the house with Rey?
I don't think it's her fault.
Okay.
I think it's the writing because to me, Palpatine's too big of a character to just be like, oh yeah, in the third movie he's back, and then the second movie, like the direction was just kind of weird. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was the acting's fault. I don't think it was Rey's fault, because overall the concept I liked. I liked Rey. Mm-hmm. She was cool. I thought that they could have did some cool things with like introducing a staff as her lightsaber, because she has a staff the whole movie, and then you just give her a regular lightsaber. So I felt like they dropped the ball on a lot of stuff.
And a staff in the sense of like Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Kind of, but maybe different, you know, just depending on how she wields it. They could have did a lot of things, you know, and they just kind of were. And then the whole at the end, I'm Rey Skywalker. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop playing.
You just chose that. I choose names sometimes too, so never mind.
I guess, but you know, I would have like. It makes more sense in storytelling for her to be like, "Hey, I'm a Palpatine. I chose my path to be good. You aren't what your family bloodline or what people tell you are. You are what you make yourself."
Yeah. And
it was a cop out to be like, I'm Rey Skywalker. No, you're not.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of what they did with my man Finn's character. I just felt like there was, especially with the promos of the first one, where they're like, oh, they got the black dude wielding a lightsaber for the first time since Samuel L. Jackson.
They blackfished us, bro.
Man, they blackfished us hardcore. Man. And I think John kind of feels the same way based upon some of the things I've seen in the interviews. And then the whole relationship with him and Poe, the questionable, like, are they gay or what's going on? Like, are they just homies? Like, they kind of screwed us. Like, I don't care if they're gay or not, but like, just be upfront and be real about it. Like, don't like try to like hint and then not hint. Go.
He had like 3 love interests.
Yeah,
2 girls and a dude. Yeah. So Rey, the Asian girl that had the twin that died in the movie, and then Poe.
And then technically Poe, yeah.
So I was just kind of confused on what was. I think he was supposed to be a Jedi, and for whatever reason they changed it up, and they're like, we don't know what to do with him. They're like, make him love everybody. Yeah, man.
No, that was they played my boy.
No, they definitely did.
Who's your favorite Jedi?
So I have a lot of characters in Star Wars that I'm like, that's my dog.
Let's list them.
Going back to bullies, number 1 is going to be Darth Vader. I don't like bullies, but you know, he's a cool character overall.
You know, there is something to getting the job done and being tactically sound and making sure that it's finished.
And that's what I like about Darth Vader, and like the whole, like, even when he was Anakin, you can kind of tell. Like, you can kind of tell. I don't know if you watch Clone Wars, but there's a lot of instances where they're like, that's not Jedi-like, bro.
I was just watching this thing recently. They pointed out how he was like really into fascism. Like the scene where he's sitting with Natalie Portman and Senator Amidala at the, because the Star Wars Senator Amidala, and you know what scene I'm talking about, right?
Which one?
Well, they're in the field, they're talking, and I think she's like, well, that's what the Republic's for, to do X, Y, and Z, and then Anakin's like, someone should just come in and make them do it.
Yeah,
she's like,
she's like, hey, yo,
she's like, yo, that's not what we do here.
Yeah, see, and then my second favorite character is a tie between Ahsoka Tano and Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Yeah, and then third is Mace.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I have to take Mace first, man.
The only reason I can't take Mace first is because the other 3 that I mentioned have so much more like
story
to them. Like Mace, there's so much mystery to Mace.
I think that's kind of why I like him, because I can kind of fill in my own little. Hey, this is what he did. This is what Mace would do. This is how Mace would approach being a Jiu Jitsu practitioner. You know what I mean? Like,
So it's funny because remember I told you that's kind of why, like, I was stalking Instagrams from like gyms in the area.
Yeah.
And I seen that you were like, I'm gonna be the Mace Windu of Jiu Jitsu, and I was like, bet. I'm pulling.
Yeah, bro. That's my dude. I think I think it was Boss of Samuel would be like, nah, I want a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, now there's so much lore about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much lore about it.
That and purple is my favorite color. So, Brother Man and it's Samuel, like everything he does, it just, I don't care that he uses the same voice, the same, what cadence. Samuel is gold.
I'm surprised they didn't let him drop the MF in Star Wars.
Man, that would have been dope.
That would have made it move. That would have wanted Oscars.
Yeah.
That would have wanted Oscars.
Yeah. No, big facts. So I was to say, speaking of Jedi, and approaching jiu-jitsu, how do you think, let's just say, because I feel like, how do you think a Jedi would approach learning jiu-jitsu?
I think they'd approach it the exact same way, in all honesty. Like, it sounds crazy, but they're all about, like, in a way, peace, order, going with the flow.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, it's everything has its steps, everything has its order, everything has its flow that you're supposed to follow, and you have to trust in that to get from move to move, position to position. You know what I mean? Whereas the Sith are, like, forcing shit. And, like, in jiu-jitsu, you can't really force shit. Like, you can.
Yeah.
But the more you learn the other side of it, it's gonna go. So I don't really think they change much. And in all honesty, this would probably be their martial art.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas the Sith would probably be like Muay Thai or something.
It's funny you mentioned force. That's the new word I'm gonna start using for strength.
Okay.
I just ran into, and I've done this before with other like white belts where they just try to like, either you get them in knee on belly or you have them in tight pin and they just try to explode with all their the really strong ones and try to explode with all their strength. You just feel it and just keep going. It's like, hey, you do realize that you're tiring yourself out, that I have you beat, that the more force you use, the more force I'm going to use. Stop, rethink your path, use some technique, and do some jiu-jitsu. Stop trying to force shit.
And that's why understanding the flow of it all, like how that's why Jedis would thrive in jiu-jitsu, just because understanding the flow of everything. Like, you have to know when you're going to shrimp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be able to feel that timing, feel when that pressure is changing. You have to be able to feel all that, If you keep forcing shit, you're never going to feel it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's funny that you brought up white belts because, as you know, I've been gymless for, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But, so I've been kind of, like, using my lady as, like, just to like get some drilling in, not really putting pressure, and it's like kind of piquing her curiosity a bit. Fucking white belts, man. That's all I gotta say about it, because that's what I noticed. That's immediately what she tries to do. She tries to like force me into positions, which is crazy for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm teaching you this. I'm stronger than you. And not only am I teaching you this, and I'm stronger than you, I'm so much bigger than you, and you're trying to force me.
It was funny. We were doing a drill. I was doing the drill with white belt, and it's just a simple arm drag. I'm not even gripping or anything. Nothing. Just my hands are on the stomach. He's supposed to go two hands on the cuff, drag the arm across. He's just, and I'm like, hey, bro. I'm not even resisting you right now. Slower is faster. Chill out.
So that's where I think we differ. That's where I'm like, I know for a fact that you're a Jedi. Like, you may be more towards Mace Windu, but you're a Jedi. Yeah. I'm a gray Jedi, where like the dark side's kind of cool,
Okay.
Dark side's kind of cool. But I'm a trial by fire, because I would never tell him, like, you're using too much force. I'd let him figure it out.
Copy.
I'd let him figure it out, and I purposely do things that come off as, like, I guess, dickish. But when someone tells you, like, yo, someone will pick up your breathing patterns and kind of manipulate that versus someone actually doing it, it's... One thing is like, oh, don't touch that, it's hot, compared to you touch it, it's hot, it's hot, and I don't want nothing to do with that. And you're going to correct it so much quicker. Yeah. At least that's how I work.
No, and I think you're correct. For me, I approach things in the way that I want to be taught. That's really what it is.
Okay.
I am very much trial by fire in the sense of like, give me the general concept. Let me jump in, try to figure it out. If I fail, I fail. Come in, correct me. Let me go back in and try to work in with your corrections. That's how I am trial by fire. But when it comes to like my instructors or someone teaching me something, I really just need you to tell me, hey, this is the problem I see. You can fix it by doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to try that.
Okay.
That's who I am.
I feel it. I'm not going to lie. I get a weird, like, kind of like joy out of just like
Hurting people.
I don't want to say hurting people, just like, you see that?
Wait, I got to ask this. What is the dark side of jiu-jitsu to you?
Heel hooks, wrist locks, leg locks. A lot of people think it's like bad reaping the knee. I understand how it's bad, but that like knee reaps, that's all dark side jiu-jitsu.
Would you add bicep slicers into there?
Honestly, I'd say calf slicers more than bicep slicers, just because it has to do with the knee. Bicep slicers, not as much. It hurts like a motherfucker, but no, I don't know why.
You know, that's a really good bicep slicer is Trevor Hansen. I keep bringing him up, but
I'm gonna have him teach me that. Which one is it?
It's always. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what the hell he's doing, because I haven't studied that far in open guard. But he does this thing where he gets I think it's a lasso. He gets a lasso and he has like a two hand on one cuff grip, and he extends his knee out. And he does something over here that ends up like flipping me. But the way he has the lasso with his knee, it like always gets right here in my bicep when he pulls me over. So if I don't go with it or if I don't flex, my arm is jacked every time.
Bro. So a couple weeks ago I went back home, right? Mm-hmm. I got caught by a bicep slicer for the first time in like my family's gym. Oh my gosh, my arm was sore for like days. Shout out to my boy Ben. He tried to show me, but it involved too much like flexibility to me. But yo, I went to punch him at the wedding. He was like, yeah, man, everybody's dancing, taking shots, and then I'd reach over to get my drink, and I'd be like, oh, I hate you, Ben. Yeah, fuck you, Ben.
That's what's up.
So, actually, I do have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Who would you rather compete against in a tournament? Someone who has, like, I guess the mentality of a Jedi, someone who's going to flow, someone who's kind of looking for the strategic path to win, or just a fucking physical anomaly, and someone I would describe more as like a Sith type person, someone who understands jiu-jitsu, but someone who's trying to come in and impose their will. Roided out or not, either way. And then And then to stack on the question, do you think Jedis would use steroids in jiu-jitsu? Or do you think that would just be like a Sith thing?
I think that'd be a Sith thing. I don't think Jedi would use steroids. I think that's kind of against the natural flow, so that wouldn't be the path that they go. To go back to your previous question, it's a good question. I think I'm gonna have to say the Sith.
Okay, why is that?
More predictable.
Okay.
And then also with that, I know I don't have to hold back.
Okay.
Because 9 times out of 10, if it's someone like that, they're looking to kill, and then I'm not. If I know you're looking to, like, if I know it's life or death, there is no regulated switch of like, I'm going to pull this back when whatever move I do. If we're talking jiu-jitsu or like, fighting, there's no pulling back. Okay. There is, I'm going to kill you or I'm going to be killed. It's either or.
Okay. I think, so at this point, I think I've realized, like, I acknowledge that I think I'm decent at jiu-jitsu for my belt. But my favorite thing when it comes to tournaments, more than winning, is putting on an exciting match. Like, I feel like The one who put the video up or whatever, and I like, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know his name. The dude I competed against. I don't know.
Sideshow.
I'm not as like proud as that match because I felt like I was just kind of trying to gain energy to the next one. I wasn't really going to finish.
Yeah.
However, I've had matches where me and the dude are both like going at it back and forth, back and forth. He shoots for something, I shoot for something. I think I'd rather lose that match than win the other one, just because it's exciting to watch.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, it allows you to open your gas tank, like really push the pedal to the metal and see like what you can do, and then everybody likes a highlight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd rather fight a Sith too.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
I just feel like a Jedi. It's kind of the same thing that I say when I'm competing against people who are calm. Like, when I know that you're calm and you're just like, come on, what you got for me? It's those people I'm like, damn, what do they have for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I could jump back and forth, but it's something about like.
Oh, you're so far away from the mic.
Oh, my bad. Don't get me wrong. I can jump back and forth, but it's something about like. I played football for a long time, so something about being able to like find someone who wants to roll with me, who's willing to be a Neanderthal with me, is exciting. It's just fucking exciting. And then, like, as you know, like sometimes it's tough to find roles in gyms. Like in your case, like I'm sure you go to gyms that people don't want to roll with you just because you got a deep bag, you know. And if they know you and they know you have a deep bag, they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, let's talk, let's conversate." Oh, I was gonna roll with them though. My bad.
Yeah. Or they talk for like the first minute, a minute of the roll. Hey, how's your life going? How you doing? Hey, you got kids yet, bro? Like I'm trying to roll, bro. Like I know you're tired. I know, like like you said, I got a deep bag or whatever the case is. Could you feel that energy from people? And you feel, you know, what's really funny is I recently went to one of my old gyms, and I know someone there has always marked me as a rival.
Okay.
And so rolling with them, it was like you could feel that energy, and it's like they want to take it, but they're like, I know I shouldn't, but I just want to see. I just want to see if I could take, you know, that kind of energy. Yeah. It's funny rolling with people when you feel that.
You want to know one of the funniest things, and like not even just in jiu-jitsu, I'm sure it happens in everything. When one competitor's like, "Oh, this is my rival," and the other competitor's like, "Good job, little guy. I'm glad to see you grow." You know, like they view each other so much differently than.
Sometimes I wonder if that's how Michael Ross sees me.
I don't know. You have to ask him, man. You'd have to ask him, Mike. We got questions.
No, speaking of questions, I mean, he called you out, bro.
Oh, he knows where I am. He got my number. He got my number.
He called you out on your own damn show, bro.
You know, actually, you know, I appreciate the boldness. Last time we had some good rolls, but he got my number. If he wanted to smoke for real, he did, you know. He'd text me.
I can't do the chirp the line, whatever it is.
You know, my hotline still bling, Mike. Hit me.
We talked about, we mentioned the dark side of jiu-jitsu and like wrist locks and leg locks. Do you dabble in any of that?
Anyone who knows me knows I do, bro. Anyone who knows me. So like wrist locks, I don't know why. There's just something satisfying about like catching someone in a wrist lock because they come from anywhere. Like if you put your hand flat on someone's stomach, they can wrist lock you. If they can trap the elbow, you know, they come from anywhere. Yeah. And then it's like, it's demoralizing to them in two ways. Like one, it's the, I got submitted and the ego in me is like, damn, that sucks. And then two, it's like, who even know a wrist could feel like that? You know? So it's, I don't know. I just think it's funny. And then I'm deceptively quick at getting to leg lock. Love them. Yeah.
I'm actually going to start doing a wrist lock study. I think when I start thinking about jiu-jitsu more and more as I'm transitioning out of the sport aspect of it to more and more self-defense, I think wrist locks are important.
I think in self-defense they're a little harder, because unless you're in a situation where they're looking to grab you, it just really depends. If someone's throwing them, throw them out the window.
Yeah.
But if they're trying to grapple you, you'll end that fight so quick and they won't even know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, and that's why I'm more thinking from the aspect of, you see a lot of times on videos and, in altercations, you have a guy, they're shoving or they shove with one arm, So that you're giving me your arm. That's the same thing, that arm drag I was talking about. When they extend their arm to come into your space, they're giving you a weapon to attack them with.
Yeah, and it's funny because so most people you're stronger than or feel like you're going to be stronger than, they're going to like post their hand on you to always try and control that distance, to always try and keep you at bay. And that's where I get most of my wrist locks, because they put it flat and they're not really paying attention. They're not thinking about it. So as soon as you can and you can grab that elbow and just slowly start putting weight onto the wrist, especially if you can kind of get your body weight up and over so it's like pushing the wrist down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad time. I was gonna say that's actually why I went to A side, is to deepen my dark side, my dark side bag.
Oh, okay. For leg locks.
I went in and I pretty much told Armin, I was like, yeah, I'm not like too proficient in leg locks, and he busts out laughing, and he's like, that's my favorite. And I was like, where do I sign?
Yeah, okay.
And he definitely caught me up. That's for sure. He definitely put me where I need to be.
He put me into a point where I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to I don't get in shootouts. I like, that's stupid. But I'm comfortable when you have my leg. As long, if you start crossing over to heel hook territory, we got to make sure we clear the knee lines and the foots and get them off our hips and get out of there. But
start that scramble.
Yeah, but if we're talking just like a straight ankle lock, usually I'm comfortable kicking my foot through and stepping over that foot that you got to clear.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me at my last tournament. I thought I was good because I kicked my foot through, but I didn't like get over.
You didn't hop over the foot?
Yeah, because he had my foot like halfway up, like he had like a lot of space before he was back on my toes.
Okay. And
when he like ripped back, I wasn't expecting it to like still sink in, So.
Copy. Yeah. So going back, we were talking about people who don't want to roll with you. How do you handle people who don't want to roll with you? And like from the perspective of they're afraid, not like, you know what I mean? Like the newer white belt who's like, that nervous energy, not like, I'm afraid, but like that nervous energy. Don't want to roll with you.
So for me, it just depends. Because especially with white belts, I look back to when I was a white belt and they were teaching me arm bars, and I was looking across the mat and they're doing barambolos and flying triangles, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I initially had that fear as well. And if there's someone who acknowledges it and they're willing to move forward, I let them know very early on that I'm here to teach. I'm here to like help you as much as I can. Like I'm not a black belt, but any questions that you have that I can answer, ask me after the roll.
Okay.
Ask me while we're drilling. And I'm not someone who's so full of myself that's not willing to, like, if I can't answer the question, we'll stop what we're doing and I'll ask the professor.
Yeah.
And we'll both go to school, So for me, if it's someone who's willing to face and acknowledge, like, okay, I'm kind of scared of, like, rolling with this person, but fuck it. Mm-hmm. I'm always going to be respectful and mindful that they have that fear and just kind of do everything I can to negate that, whether it be an insecurity, whether it be a genuine fear, whatever it is. I try and do whatever I can to make them feel comfortable, But if they're a coward, I'm going to give my chance one day and I'm not teaching you shit. Yeah, I'm smashing.
Depends on who you are. I still, even if you're a coward, I still have to teach you a lesson. It's almost like in the movies when the hero beats the villain and the villain's like tied up and the villain is beat and They can talk all the mess they want, but you're going to tell them that one last thing that might help them change, and then walk off.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean like I'm going to just like beat them up, you know what I mean? But I've noticed in my time training that people that are afraid to roll with you, they generally don't even really talk to you. You know what I mean? So whenever I do finally roll with them, I don't feel the need to talk to them or teach them anything because that's not the relationship we've built.
Yeah.
You know? The people who are willing to roll with me, we usually build a relationship, become friends, joke around. Like, hell, we came to a whole podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I
got
mean?
a whole dang podcast off of it. Yeah.
So those people I'm willing to like invest in and like teach and like kind of like see where their jiu-jitsu journey goes. The people who I feel are like, I don't want to roll with him because he's big. I usually don't feel like they're going to make it unless they have like a genuine reason. I usually feel like that's someone who's going to quit anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, man? Because I know I've seen it firsthand. I know there's people that don't like rolling with you.
For me, I just try to keep my distance. With anyone, I've said this before, I read energy. So if your energy is like, hey, I don't want you around me, or hey, I don't like you, or even, it could be nothing like that. It could just be that you just have awkward energy and you're socially awkward. But if I feel energy that you're uncomfortable around me, I keep my distance.
Yeah.
When it comes to females, I'm like, I'm gone. Like I don't even look at you. I'm in the corner of the mat. Like, I got my lady. I don't need none of that.
For so many reasons, I keep my distance from women in the gym, and maybe the biggest one is I sweat so much. And
Same.
then like the situations where they're like, "Oh, go roll with her over there," I feel bad. Like, I mostly just play guard, but like I see their face when they grab my gi, and it's just fucking disgusting.
But have you ever gotten those the flip side of that, where there's someone who you know is, for lack of a better word, throwing it at you, right? Like, you know, like a girl is obviously kind of flirting with you, you know, she's talking a little extra longer with you, and you know, you're rolling and you just happen to, you know, when you're rolling, you catch eyes with someone, you're like, they're watching me. And you're still rolling and you're like, oh, they're still watching me. They're looking you dead ass in your eyes. You're just like, oh, this person is vibing me.
Yeah. So I'm going to start this answer off by saying, Lauren, I love you. This has nothing to do with us.
There you have it. You heard it here first. Lauren, he loves you.
You know, I'm reiterating, Ben. You know, we're good. But I've done jiu-jitsu for a long time. I've definitely felt those situations where I feel like things can be misread for more than what they are. Yeah. Or like even in some situations they were in that, but like now in my situation I set boundaries immediately as soon as if they even start like getting any type of flirty. I'm like, yeah, me and my girlfriend love to go like, you know, just so that boundary's set and they know that contact with me in jiu-jitsu is just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the same for me. In another life, probably been a different story, but the life I have now, me and my lady, I'm going to rock with her to the day I die.
Ladies, it's not our fault we're handsome. It's not our fault. You know?
Well, my lady trusts me. We've been through a lot, and in general, relationship wise, I would say I've been through a lot, but I put a lot of women through a lot, and in that, I kind of figured out what it takes to be a good partner, a good man. Not saying I'm perfect, not saying the job is done, because there's always work to do. But someone once told me you have 3 great loves in your life, all to fuck up so you could figure it out. Okay. And I'd hope that wasn't the case for me, but I really feel like that was the case for me.
I wouldn't say I've had 3 in terms of like women. Unless we're counting, you know, jiu-jitsu. Is jiu-jitsu one?
A great love?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can count jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Oh, then I'm at 2.
Yeah, 2. Okay.
But yeah, honestly, kind of like piggybacking off of what you said, I realize how hard it is for women who date a jiu-jitsu practitioner or a competitor.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to date a practitioner just due to the fact that jiu-jitsu does this thing where the people who like it, they get addicted to it. It's like a drug, to the point where I know that my girl doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Mine does not care.
She doesn't care. But every time I want to talk about it, she either pretends to be interested, she'll genuinely engage in the conversation.
Same.
She gives us so much time, because whenever I train, I don't go train for an hour. I go to multiple classes. I go to 2 classes, and then they're rolling after.
Yeah.
That's like 2.5 hours after work. Even then, today we're shooting the podcast.
Yeah.
So it takes up so much of my time.
Thank you, Lauren.
And she's so she's very supportive about the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, and shout out to my lady. Thank you, baby, for always listening to me and hearing me drone on and tell you moves that you don't understand. And let me show you this concept and how this works real quick. Like, no, you don't understand. If you just did this real quick, it would work. Like, thank you for dealing with my shenanigans. I love you.
That's where my girl draws the line. She's like, what am I dating you for if I need to learn how to do this? She's like, well, like, no.
For when you're not with him. Like, didn't you just go on a trip without him? What if you had to tear some stuff up? He wasn't there to protect you. Just saying.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it.
My man's spitting facts. So all y'all ladies out there that are like, oh, my man will protect me. No.
Go learn some self-defense, please. Please. I'm going to say please. I'm not going to be aggressive with the women. But on
a little bit, I am. Learn something in case he's not around.
I'm going to say this for the dudes. Get your ass out there and learn some self-defense.
I'm not going to say anything to the dudes, because you're a grown man. You can do what you want to do. But if you need a lady to protect you, there's a lot of lady practitioners out here. And they'll be glad to keep you safe.
I know a couple. We about to have some on the show. Actually, we're talking about that.
I'm excited. I'm excited for one.
I think it's important that somehow this gap between men and women is bridged, and we find a way to come together.
And it's funny because I don't really feel that gap. Like, I feel that gap everywhere but martial arts.
Yes. And I feel like if more men and women did martial arts, let's just say the whole world did martial arts, like our nation, we had it in school, I feel we'd have less problems. And we wouldn't have what you're talking about outside of the gym.
Well, I think it would do so much, because after a certain point, after playing sports, I there was a time where I probably was kind of a hothead, kind of a douchebag, like getting into like bar fights and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that would have never happened, because as soon as I got to jiu-jitsu and I got beat up by a nerdy dude named Tristan. Tristan to this day is my boy, but he handled me, and he's so much smaller than me. It made me realize, like, yo, you don't know what people can do.
Yeah.
You might run into the wrong dude one day. And putting that mindset into people from like a younger age will stop bullying. Will stop this online harassment. Because like that's all it is. A bunch of cowards typing online, and then they don't face no real consequences.
Yeah. So or they want to yell stuff behind your back as you're walking away, but never would get up and actually take a stand in front of anybody because they know they would have to do something about it.
Make jokes at your expense.
Yeah.
And knowing that you can't hold buddy's jock strap. People like that, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
The deeper you get into martial arts, it doesn't exist because you know your limitations, you know your strengths, and then on a step further, you know what you can do to someone. And most people don't want to genuinely harm someone. You know?
And I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't do this to hurt anybody. I do this who try to hurt me or people I love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not against it if you want to take it there, but I don't want to.
No.
So I get you. I do agree with you. I do agree with 100%.
Yeah. I think we're like at that point though, as we say all this. So we should probably start wrapping up. DJ, it's been great having you back, bro. It was lonely without you.
Hey, man.
I shot
Thank you.
2 episodes without you, bro.
My bad,
2.
man. My bad, you know.
2. I want to cry.
Hey, look, it won't happen no more. Michael Ross, we're definitely going to link up because you ain't going to call me out in my seat, brother.
That was kind of savage.
In my seat. But it's all right. We still cool. We still cool.
Yeah, I'm really sad. Dang, that episode was going to be so much better. I should show you the director's cut.
All right. Yeah, let's hit it up.
Because I'll say this out here. The last episode of Michael Ross, there was this whole thing. We had this whole announcement, everything planned. But due to some circumstances that are actually, I mean, kind of out of my control, I guess I could have did it sooner. But whatever. Due to some circumstances, it did not happen. So I had to do a whole revamp. That whole day was stressful, bro.
I believe it, bro. I don't do editing.
I wanted to shoot myself in the face that day. It's part of the reason, we're on Wednesday, right? We're on Thursday, and yesterday I was like, I'm not doing shit.
Oh, bro.
Today I was like, I need a half a day break. It was exhausting. Go ahead.
I told you part of my day yesterday. You don't.
Oh yeah, you had. Tell me about it. You had a leak at your job or something.
No, bro. So we do bathroom remodels.
Okay.
We were tearing out a shower, and we hit a pipe. And that pipe was a septic pipe that ran under the shower. So it wasn't water leaking out.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I wasn't, that's why we're shooting a day late.
Yeah, it's all good. I wasn't tripping. I think I went to the gym.
I could have came late, but I went home and cried in the shower.
No, when you told me, I think you texted me around it was like 7, 8. And I was like, man, it's getting kind of late. I'm gonna go to the gym. I imagine when he's done, he's gonna be tired. So rinse, wash, repeat. We'll link up later.
I went home and cried in the shower for hours. It was terrible.
Did you smell? Did you smell like poo?
Well, the thing is, I'm in a high enough position to where I don't have to do it.
Weird flex, but okay, bro.
I still had to go and talk to the customer and do managerial shit.
Okay.
And being in that house made me want to cry. And then I still had to go get pictures, so I had to put my rain boots on and trudge through it. Yeah, not a fun time.
Yeah, man. So, and we can cut this if you want to this point. So I'm going to ask you about your new gym thing before we sign off. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
Okay.
So at this point now, before we sign off, you don't have a home right now. So what are you looking for in a new gym?
Overall, I think it's time that I expand my martial arts knowledge in general.
Okay.
And I always want to do jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is always going to be my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been on the outside looking in, wanting to dive into Muay Thai for a while now, for a long time. And I've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And I found a gym that works with my schedule, that teaches both, that I feel will be good for me in the long run, So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. I have my mindset on where I'm going to go, but I've just taken some time to work, hang out with my lady because she's been vacationing. I've been doing my thing, So
yeah,
and then get back into it.
That's what's up. I've been purchasing some dynamic striking videos recently. So if you want to get into some of that, I got that Mike Tyson peekaboo. I know, right? That's like we could ever learn that for real.
I'm down to learn it, but that man's on a short list of people I genuinely fear. Never met him in my life, but I just the videos genuinely fear that.
Him in action scares you, or is it just him in general? Because he seems like a very chill person. Just don't piss him off. Just don't be disrespectful.
The way he talks about having another personality scares me, bro. Because to a certain degree, I understand it.
Yeah.
Football is a very painful sport. So for me, I had to compartmentalize certain things, and it came to a point to where football Devontae was not Devontae.
Yeah.
So I understand what he's saying when he does that, but with him, it's different to where you can genuinely see the switch, bro.
Yeah.
You can see the switch, and it's he goes from a very cool and calm and collected and wise guy to an animal.
Be real with you. That is always why my whole life I've shied away from competition. Because there's this switch inside of me that I know turns into an animal that is ruthless. It's like, I don't care. I will kill every last one of you.
So the crazy thing is, bro, is to a certain degree, I miss that. So I know how to turn the switch on, but I miss being able to do it all the time. I miss being able to, because it's...
You don't get that through competition? Because I feel like I get that a lot through competition.
Well, I don't compete that much.
Okay.
You know, the schedule, like for scheduling, maybe some of it's cowardice, for whatever reason. But
you work, 12-hour days, walking in feces?
it's not all the time.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be a competitor. Like me, I work contract work, and I make enough money to where I can, take time off, or my hours are set by myself. As long as I get X amount of work done, it doesn't matter what I do, right? So my scenario is different than yours. So obviously I can compete more than you can.
Yeah. And part of it is whenever I compete, I have to sacrifice so much time that I'm already kind of sacrificing.
Yeah.
And it just kind of causes I wouldn't say problems, but I can tell, like, after 2 weeks of me grinding for this competition, knowing there's like 6 more, I can visually see how sad it makes my lady, because she's like, "You're gonna do this for 6 more weeks."
Yeah.
So,
do you think there's a balance you can have with it? Do you think that you could do work in this question is a little bit loaded, in the sense of I've already have an answer for myself. And this is how I'm approaching it for myself to see if this is the way I can do it. And so how that is where I'm always in competition shape. Like, I work out and I stay in competition shape. So the only thing that I have to dial in is my technique.
yeah. So for me at this point, I've let myself get far enough out of shape to where it's going to be like a 5-6 month process,
Yeah.
But overall, I think I need to start, I've been disciplining myself slowly, because it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah.
To get up earlier and ride the bike, get that first workout done early in the day.
Yeah.
Then whenever I start training again tomorrow, or whenever I start training again at my gym, start going to certain classes daily. Just kind of getting on a schedule and sticking to that schedule.
Yeah. Do you ever play like your PlayStation while you're riding the bike? I used to do that to motivate myself to ride the bike when I didn't have it.
No.
Okay.
Whenever I'm riding the bike, it's usually when I watch my anime. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put Funimation on my phone and just get it.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm coming back, man.
DJ's coming back. Jay's coming back.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to say that you can't even call it a comeback with me. I'm good right now. Like, it was funny. We were in class the other day, and professor was like, "How much you weigh?" I was like, 200. And he was like, he looked at me. I was like, "You know what? I'm like 195. He was like, "Nah, we go try the scale." Now, I stepped on the scale. It was 196.9. But still, like,
close enough.
Because after that last comp back in October, I let myself get up to like 225, 230 for a second. Now, if you look back at these podcasts, I was looking a little chunky for a second, but I needed a mental break to kind of reset, to recalibrate that discipline, like you were talking about.
Well, it's important to like really reset yourself, especially when it comes to competition, because people don't like talk about it, but it does take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you in terms, and like, especially like, this isn't your case, of course, but like, especially when it's the case of someone who keeps falling short, you're not getting anything back. So you don't get that like refuel, and that's the danger of like competing.
Yeah.
Is if you never get that satisfaction, it's eventually gonna fizzle out.
I still stand by, if you're falling short by going one route, you should go another route. If you've done that route maybe 2-3 times, try a different route. For me, like I say, when I'm in comp mode, I'm going to other gyms. I'm going to open mats. I'm not when I'm really on it. We've talked about it. I train with ASI, I train with team because I am part of the team. But in order for me to eat and get in that monster mode, I got to go hit open mats.
Yeah, and like I felt like, never mind. We'll talk about that off.
All right, we'll talk about it later. We gotta wrap this up anyway. So thank you guys all for tuning in. DJ, you got anything you want to say before we sign off here?
To my ASI teammates, I miss y'all.
Oh, yeah, they're competing this weekend.
Yeah, I know. Good luck, guys. Also, happy birthday, dog.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
It's early today.
It's early.
By this weekend, happy birthday, G.
My G, appreciate you. And I appreciate all you guys because we are there. Hold on. I'm gonna put a clap on this one. We have reached 100 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share because we just trying to keep doing this, y'all.
Yeah. And if you want to smoke, Michael Ross is the only one who's hit me up who's want to smoke. So I'm assuming everybody's good on it. So
Crickets.
If you change your mind, hit me.
I was telling Michael Ross that we should make ourselves the big three of SoCal. We should just start going around to different gyms and like, what's up? And I'm not saying disrespectfully. I'm not saying challenge anyone in the sense of like, oh, I'm better than you. I have a big ego. But I'm saying in the sense of like, how are you going to, I want to know where I rank. And no competitions for that. Don't get me wrong. But, not everyone who's good competes.
We 100% on that. But yeah, we should jump on that. For sure.
Cool.
I'm with it.
We'll get on that. And until next time, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
And we'll get you. Peace.
Yup.